As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Well, I guess I'm going to go with OU golf because a lot of this is very difficult to keep up with for me whenever you've got the individual in the team stuff going on. But Jay Summey right now is in fourth at the halfway point of the NCAA championships. And I think they're going to play today and then they play Monday, I think, is whenever you have the final where the championship is going to be pulled from. But playing pretty good right now. The Sooners as a team overall are in 19th, I believe, and are 27 over, and they had a 14 over 302 in the second round. So they're in a pretty decent spot. They got to make some moves today in order to start to make these cuts as things thin out and they move on. But Jay Summey in a pretty good spot there in fourth.
I hope Summey can get it done. What a great golf name, by the way.
It is. I
Jay
agree.
Summey. Destined to
Perfect
be
name.
good at golf with that name. Coach Hibble's the best.
Yeah.
Man, I love watching those teams succeed. And that's one of the things about OU golf. I feel like sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle, but they've been so consistently good for so long now. I mean, it's one of the best golf programs in the country. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, they've been great. And it's difficult in golf. I mean, it's difficult in all sports, but to stay up there at the top is hard. You got, guys rotating through and I don't know. They've done an incredible job there. And like that's the hard part is getting to where they are now. And then, you start to get a reputation of having one of the best programs out there. And that helps and goes a long way. The facilities that they've got going on have helped. So yeah, they're definitely rolling and see if they can pull off something big.
Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
OU baseball, not really a loser. Didn't get the title in the Big 12 tourney. They won the regular season, got second in the tourney. Oklahoma State was able to outlast them. Once they
That
get into that
that's
tournament
one way
play
to
stuff.
describe 9-2 is able to outlast them.
Well, I guess I'm saying more like throughout the
Or wait, it was
tournament,
not.
like
It ended up 9-3. They scored a third run, 9-3.
9-3. Like those tournaments, the postseason tournaments played like that ends up kind of being a war of attrition with how you have to burn through arms and stuff like that. Oklahoma State's really good too. But overall, really good job. And I still think, and I guess it's all going to be decided later today, but I still think they have a good chance to be a top 8 seed and host a super. So we'll see. They put themselves in a really good spot.
Everything I've seen when it comes to those projections is that they're supposed to be a top 8 seed.
Yeah.
The the only I don't know if annoying is the right word, but you think about Bedlam. They beat us in football. We don't know the next time we're going to play. That was very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe, Ted, isn't this the last Big 12 sporting event for Oklahoma Athletics?
Uh, yeah. I think that's it. I think
Oklahoma
we're
State
done.
fans are going to love that they won, especially the fashion that they won. They're just going to love that little fact. And
Oh yeah.
it's going to be so annoying.
I know it. I know it.
Dang it.
Did they beat us both games in basketball, men's basketball? They definitely won the one there in Stillwater.
Now,
I
didn't we
remember.
beat them in Norman?
Yeah, I think you may be right.
This is
I hope
something
so.
where it's like we got so battered and bruised by how OU men's basketball season finished that, and then the portal stuff that have we already erased it from our memories?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I don't know if that's a good sign or not, man.
I know it. Well, needless to say, I still feel the baseball team is in a really good spot.
Yeah, we won.
Uh,
We won 66-62 at Lloyd
okay, there
Noble.
you go.
Okay.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, I think we're losing our mind. The one in Stillwater was awesome. It was
Yeah.
like 2 point game. That was a great game. But yeah, I'm excited for the post. I'm not gonna let the disappointment of how that championship game in the Big 12 tournament went. I'm not gonna let that affect how excited I am for this team in the postseason because it's that tournament is really not a good reflection of how you're going to fare in the postseason when it comes to the formatting. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We've got,
Which that Big 12 tournament bracket, I, I'm still trying to figure out who came up with that. It made my brain hurt. I was like, how is this? How is this the format? It was so bizarre. Oh,
yeah. No, that's right. It seems like it should be a pretty easy thing to recreate every single year, right? I don't know. It should be a standard format, but whatever. Um, yeah, I feel good about where we're going to be. Like we got a couple of really top-notch starting arms, um, good closer type roles. So I offense is playing at a really high level right now. So I think we got a good shot to do some damage. We'll see.
we'll have
Get
to
hot.
get once because softball is going to be wrapping up clearly before baseball. We'll have to get T Row on to talk some Sooners baseball and give us some insight.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, new sponsor alert, fellas. Father's Day is coming up on June 16th, and our friends at Manscaped have some excellent gift options for you to get your dad. Head over to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with code OKBreakdown. My dad's got a beard, had one his entire life, desperately needed a trimmer upgrade. So I got him the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It's the complete beard maintenance kit for all the bearded dads out there. This all-in-one kit comes with a beard hedger that's Manscaped's most advanced beard trimmer, as well as shampoo, conditioner, oil, and balm for your beard. It also comes with a brush, comb, and scissors so your dad can style his beard and mustache. I mean, this thing is fancy, you guys. It's really fancy. Now, maybe you're like Ted, not blessed with a beautiful, luxurious beard. Although maybe he has one and he just doesn't grow it, and it bothers me every day. You can get some of the Boxers 2.0. They were designed with a simple mission to make the most comfortable boxers using perforated performance fabric for extra breathability. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code OKBreakdown at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code OKBreakdown. Happy Father's Day from Manscaped.
And head to opulusclothing.com for our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED, for 10% off. That's opulusclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
For my win of the weekend, the Boston Celtics.
Mm.
What a close in game 3 for them in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers. That was the final couple of minutes of that game. That's championship team type stuff. Pacers were up 8 with 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Just some
Crazy.
big shots from the Celtics, some extremely clutch plays, and Jason Tatum just another massive game. 36, 10, and 8. Al Horford hit 7 threes.
What?
And Jaylen Brown, he continues to just be excellent. Celtics had 4 bench points, Ted, and
Wow.
won a conference finals game on the road. Yeah, I know Indiana didn't have Tyrese Halliburton, and that sucks. And it certainly is taken away from this series. But they finished that game. The way that they finished that game was just really impressive. And Drew Holiday is a dog, man. I mean,
He's been in the league for a while now, man.
he's high on my list of basketball guys I think can play football. So I love that dude.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
He he had the massive and one to give them the lead late, and then he picked Nimhart's pocket with a couple seconds to go, and it hits both free throws. I mean, he was fantastic. Ted, did you see the final play of the game though from Indiana?
I did not.
They they advanced the ball with the timeout.
Uh-huh.
They basically got in like four wide in a football set, and they ran mesh. Wide open look.
How about that?
Two guys in man coverage pick each other off. Somewhere Mike Leach was smiling in heaven, undoubtedly.
Did they have
Wide
to
open
dig
look.
in behind or no?
No digging behind. More of kind of like a postish type situation.
I like
Yeah,
it.
wide open look for an Aaron Neesmith, and he just missed it.
Uh,
To send it in overtime. But yeah, it brought a smile to my face. It made
that's
me pretty
great.
happy. I was like, hey, that's a football play.
That's
But
funny.
I there's no doubt the Celtics, they have had massive injury luck when it comes to the other team. Now remember, Porzingis is out. They're not the best
Mhm.
version of their team right now either. But they had Miami without Jimmy Butler. Donovan Mitchell missed multiple games in their second round series, and now Halliburton's hurt in the conference finals. It it feels unfair, but everyone's opinion is this team is going to be formed by what happens in the NBA finals.
Yeah.
Because right now it feels like they've kind of had a very easy path, especially when you consider what's going on in the Western Conference.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, you got to imagine I obviously there's the physical toll, but the mental and emotional stress that you go through from a couple of like really physical series and comes down to the wire, game sixes, game sevens. I mean, that wears on somebody, and they've been able to stay relatively clean, and it looks like they're going to continue to stay clean. Like that's a huge advantage whenever you make it to the finals. You go back and look through the damage you've had to sustain through the previous series. Like they're going to be light years ahead of whoever comes out of the West.
Yeah. On the Pacers side of things, feel terrible for Halliburton to re-injure the hammy at that point in time. Is just, I mean, it's brutal. And then looking at that game three, Andrew Nimhart and TJ McConnell were awesome. And those two guys just, you don't even really get to enjoy an awesome playoff performance when your team loses that way. So I will say this about the Pacers, though. I like their fans. I feel like they're the second best fan base when it comes to wearing the t-shirt. We
That's
all know
true.
who's number one, baby. We all know who
That's
is king
true.
of the matching t-shirt mountain. But Pacers fan, I acknowledge and salute you for wearing the and they were yellow, bright yellow. And I was proud of them. It was a good showing. Not excellent, but good.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I Celtics. How do you, assuming they make it through this series, how do you think they stack up against whoever makes it out of the West?
I think if Porzingis is healthy, I would pick them to win the title. Just because I think they've got a tremendous collection of talent. I think their best three are better than any other team's best three. So we'll see, but I also think it's a massive advantage. They haven't had to go deep in any of these series.
Yeah,
And that's something that, like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum do not miss games. These guys are durable, man. I mean,
yeah,
they've been really durable, and they deserve credit for that. But yeah, I think they got everything that they need to win a title. I am interested to see. I don't see any reason why they'd bring Porzingis back in this series.
yeah,
I think they're going to push hard to win Game 4 and get this thing over with. But we'll see.
yeah. I don't know. I I don't know. It's hard for me because the West, even though we're a couple games into this thing, it's still hard for me to really. I don't know. The styles just feel so different to me between what we see from Dallas or Minnesota compared to Boston to some degree. It's hard for me to really know how those matchups would go.
Yeah, we'll see it. perfect segue to my loser of the weekend, Ted.
Okay.
And in game three, we're recording this before game three of the Western Conference Finals on Sunday night. But my loser of the weekend is Anthony Edwards. And maybe, hey, maybe the Timberwolves go and win game three in Dallas, and he's incredible. And I sound kind of stupid for saying everything that I'm about to say. That's all very possible. But to have the whole bring your ass thing blow up the way that it did, I mean, it kind of took over the state of Minnesota. You had the governor tweeting out the link, all these things like the bringyass.com was taking everyone to the Minnesota tourism website. Like it just got embraced. And it seemed like the vibes were so high in the state of Minnesota. And there's so much excitement for this team. And you lose game one and game two at home.
Mm.
That makes you the loser of the weekend for me, man. It just does. And Anthony Edwards, to his credit, he has played himself into an exclusive group, right? When you start talking about the conversation of the best guys in the league. And people are throwing Michael Jordan around for this guy. Whether that's fair or not, I don't know. But that's what's happening. Like people are talking about this guy being the face of the league moving forward. Now he's only 22 years old. I understand that, but he's supposed to be that guy. Game one, 6 of 16, 19 points. Game two, 5 of 17, 21 points. Had some costly turnovers late in game two. And I know it's a team game, but he's supposed to be that guy, Ted. And he, in my opinion, he just hadn't been very good in this series so far.
Is it something that you think Dallas is doing defensively on him, or is it just not making the shots, not getting to his spots?
They're doing a nice job, but I really think him having to guard Kyrie is fatiguing him and affecting him on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Which that's why a lot of the times your star player doesn't guard the other team's best players because they have to carry such a large load offensively. And that is taxing. Like these guys are not robots. They get tired. And I think he's playing more fatigued than he's used to because Kyrie is still quick as hell, man.
He is. He's
And,
tough, man. His change of direction is so crazy still.
and it's hard for Anthony Edwards to be at his best on the offensive end when he's having to deal with Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
On the other end, it just is. Now, I respect the absolute hell out of him for taking that challenge on, but they got to find a way to keep him maybe a little fresher. So I'm interested to see what the chess match looks like the rest of the series. But one of the reasons why Anthony Edwards is my loser of the weekend is because he's supposed to be in that exclusive conversation of best guys in the league. And Luka Doncic is clearly the best player on the floor in this series so far.
Yeah.
It ain't close. And Anthony Edwards is supposed to be in that class, right? He's supposed to be in that conversation. And Luka, 33 in game one, had a triple double with 32, 10, and 13 in game two, including the game winner where I don't think Luka likes Rudy Gobert. I mean, he was just screaming at him after the step back three, which why they switched that so easily and didn't make someone else beat you. I thought that was a big mistake from Minnesota. But Luka has been that dude, and Anthony Edwards has not through two games. And that kind of just magnifies it. Anthony Edwards has to be better if Minnesota wants a chance in this series.
What do you think happens? It's 2-0. What do you think happens as they head back to Dallas?
My original pick was Dallas in 6. I'm sticking to it.
Sticking with it.
Yeah. I think Minnesota's a really, really good basketball team. Just Anthony Edwards has to be better. I don't know how much better Naz Reid can be. That guy, he is, for 5-minute stretches, he turns into the best basketball player on the planet. It's crazy to watch. And he missed the game winner in game two. I understand that. I thought that thing was going in, but and maybe I'm not as critical of Anthony Edwards if that shot goes in.
Yeah.
But I just I keep coming back to the fact that if you're supposed to be a top 5 player, if you're Anthony Edwards, all these people are saying you're going to be the face of the NBA moving forward because your personality and your skill level, and you don't shy away from the moment, all these things. Like, you have to play better when it's all on the line, man. You just have to.
This is the moment, right? This is the moment. Yeah. Well, we'll see. See if he can answer the call.